Hi, and welcome to the Naval Tech Tinkerer. My name is Mikael Sjöman, and in this episode, I want to talk about the next project that I want to do and that I've already started. So, if you've been following along, I've been building my 25-ish 6 horsepower electric carbon fiber skinned motor that I 3D printed and used a lot of carbon fiber to make it work. And I've been thinking a lot about the different things that I want to build. And I had ideas such as, putting hydrofoils on my rubber boat or putting sails up on that rubber boat. But I just bought a sailboat together with my colleagues and friends. And that kind of put me to a different position when I started to think about my son. So about 2 years ago, me, my son, my wife, we were out in a bad storm. And after that, my son, when I say that we're going to go out on a boat, he says, I don't want to throw up. He's 7 years old and he's already scared. And I understand him. That was a terrible experience. But I showed him a video clip that I want to show you, something that really got him excited about boats. And yeah, let's just jump to that. So this is Peter Chaseling who built this boat. Let's just put play on this one. So kind of see what he built for his son. I think it just looks awesome. So that's a flat bottom boat with a 2 kilowatt motor at 48 volts. And I just think that looks amazing. And my son really loved it. Doesn't that look cool? So flat bottom boats are really not that great at handling waves. So yeah, you can kind of see this is Grindharp plumbing that I just want to show a video. So that's aluminium. And yeah, that just rips because that's a 100 horsepower motor. But if I build it electric, which I want to do, I just hate these stinky boxes that sounds like terrible when you go out. I still think that one is really cool, but it's not the right thing to build for my son. He's 7 years old after all. But the pros with the electric jet or water jet is that it if my son falls off for some reason, he cannot connect the propeller. I mean, I am dead scared if he's on a speedboat, and I don't want it to go that fast like with that child. I thought that was a bit too much. But yeah, so a water jet is kind of cool. Water jets are just cool, but it won't probably be that fast because jets are just inefficient. At slow speed, we're talking about an efficiency of maybe 15 to 20%. Versus a propeller that has like 50 to 70% efficiency. So I'm going to use a lot of electric power to go pretty slow, but that's okay. I'm building this for my son, so it doesn't need to go fast. Actually, it's good that it doesn't go fast. And it provides the protection against, he cannot touch these things. So it's good. And it's going to be pretty low voltage, like top at 42 and nominal at, I think I use half of my current battery pack, which is at 36 volt. So I'm going to use a motor though that can provide at peak 15 kilowatts, and that would be like 20 horsepower, but it's just never going to get up to that. And continuous, I think it can provide like 7 kilowatts. And I have it. It's an SSS 56114, and that's been used with a lot of these. And I found an already designed dual impeller 3D printed jet that I just started 3D printing. But before we get there, let's just get going with this project, and I'll show you what I've done and where it's going. So please subscribe and like if you want to support my channel, and please give me feedback if I'm just doing something crazy. I'm literally winging this. I am not basing this on any sane designs. I'm just trying to do my best to build a boat that I can, drive safely with my son. So yeah, let's get at it. Okay, can you drive there? So we have the line 65 centimeters beam
And I don't know how long yet, but yeah, getting closer to a boat. We can now see that we have two parts there, and you can kind of see how the boat will start looking. I'm thinking these are a bit too tall. I just use ChatGPT to give me some dimensions to get a rough start, but it seems like this would be a little bit weird. So I think we're gonna cut it 5 centimeters shorter here. Definitely. Let's do that. And we can see this one is starting to look like a boat. That one's gonna come here. So you can see in the front it'll be like a V shape, but in the back it'll be kind of, well, it will be flat at the bottom. But the idea is that I will have a jet motor back here, and I can't have a, well, I can, but it's really darn difficult, and I want to make it simple. The challenge is to build a boat in a day. I need this area to be flat here so I can put the jet motor here. I'm gonna have to reinforce here a lot, probably all over here, to put the jet motor here. So yeah, I'm not using marine plywood, just using some hobby plywood. I don't know if that's okay. I actually know it's pretty not okay, but whatever. And this is 45 centimeters tall. So they are exactly the same size, these two, but so 45 centimeters here, 65 on the beam, and then I wanted a 15 centimeter angle, set to 8.7 here. So that creates a little bit V-shape in the front, and that will make the boat handle way better during turns, but also way better when it comes to waves. And to get this kind of bow shape, I had to kind of wing one of these. So I put one there and then one there to kind of get the size. And possibly I could even use this inside the boat to kind of strengthen the hull a little bit. So yeah, but then I would need two and I don't have that, I think. yeah, whatever. Yeah, I do have. Look at there. There's some wood. So we can make two of these and put inside. So the idea is to cut this out and then actually to make it a little bit going thinner into the center here. So that when I push this, it will kind of get a bow shape. So maybe like 3 centimeters, something. And then push the plywood together so that it kind of rises up like this. Anyways, let's cut the bottom out. So this is why you shouldn't be winging it. Basically, when I created this angle, this length over there became wider than that one, and I don't think this is gonna work. It's just gonna be too flexy down here. But I could make it a flat bottom boat. Sure, it won't have as good handling, but it would be cool anyways. It would be fun to drive. But yeah, I won't have a V bottom. But that, I knew that was going to be a challenge. So basically I'm just going to cut it off, because then I get 65.5. So yeah, but it's going to have a weird design. I got to think about this. Okay, so I have now epoxied and put these on, so it will be more of a frame design than stitching glue design, I guess. So now I just push these together to see how far they needed to go, and yeah, I need to cut those off and then kind of glue together so that they get this bow shape, which will help a lot in waves. Okay, so I stitched these together with straps. So this is stitching glue. Sometimes you can use wire, but you can also use the zip ties I saw. And then I just put quick epoxy. That's 5-minute one. Could even have used even faster, but 5-minute one, that means I could kind of use some dust from the sawdust and put inside. And yeah, the idea here is not that it will kind of hold, but that we get the shape and I can take those off, and then I can start putting glass fiber tape, or I use carbon fiber. I haven't decided yet. But anyways, so we're getting some kind of V-shaped 15-degree angle thingy. So yeah. And we are back at the shed with the motor that I'm still working on, but I wanted to take a break. I've been working on that for a long time. I kind of promised myself not to start a second project, but it's vacation and I was down in my summer house, and as you see, I have come somewhere. So I'm using a mix of a kind of a frame and stitch and glue method, I guess it's called. And I need to strengthen this. That one will not be enough to hold all the stresses, so I have to put more of those in here. But for now, I think I'll just focus on trying to get this one on to here. So start bending that down. That means making holes here and then slowly bending it downwards. So I think that would be kind of cool. So I pre-drilled these and put these on, and yeah, it's yeah. I put a lot on because these are kind of thin, like 3.5 millimeters. So I noticed that they don't hold super well, so better to put a lot of them. I noticed that when I did this, some of them actually took off, and these ones will just taken off afterwards, so that'll be kind of cool. But for now, the goal is just to start aligning from down there to there. I think I have to push this one in a bit more here, with more screws. So yeah, this has to have more screws. But remember, the stitching glue methodology is not that actually the stitches hold anything. It's just to make sure that it's kind of in place while the glass fiber, and in this case carbon fiber with kind of a nice pattern of Kevlar, is around this. So yeah, for now we're just gonna put that one on, and after I put it on the first time, I'm gonna paint a line so that it actually follows here, and then we will take it all off again and actually cut out the shape so that it actually follows here. So yeah, time to put these together, put it a little bit closer, put it around here, and start kind of strapping on piece by piece by piece by piece. And I started bending. So I did a few things. One, I created an angle here so that they would kind of go better together. And then I started bending this very gently. But of course I still got a little crack at this point. This of course should have been rounder a little bit here so it doesn't create the stress point like that. But yeah, after all, this is not where the strength is. It's in the carbon fiber. So I expect it to go off a little bit here. I guess it would have been easier to bend in the other direction, since it wouldn't be following the layer lines here. I'm actually thinking of this like 3D printing, which is kind of fun. So I'm thinking the strength lies in this direction then. But maybe I don't want that. Maybe I wanted it more like here, where it's going like that. And yeah, having them a little bit different pattern is probably not the best, but after all, this is more like a shape to put the carbon fiber and the glass fiber and the Kevlar around. So I almost got there, but since it started cracking, I'm just gonna leave it be. I used a heat gun from the inside, just so that it softens in the inside and then goes into tension on the outside. So you could think that when I'm bending it from the inside here, they're being contracted in, and here they're getting pulled out. So yeah, and that creates stress, a lot of stress. So I saw some video, if you put a little bit heat on the inside, it kind of compresses more easy, but the outside should not be warm. So quick heat, but not long. And of course I did that a little bit wrong. I took it too long time. So yeah, heat gun. And I think I'll just leave it here for tonight. I'm putting water on it now. I started seeing cracks, which is definitely not good. It actually came after a while, not just immediately, like when it was holding the shape. Like, so I'm soaking it with water, and then it's gonna be heat gun. So I've done that a few times, just soaking in, and then the idea is that the water goes in, and then I use the heat, and you can think of wood as a composite in itself. And there's fibers, and there's this glue called lignin, which is the natural glue of wood, which makes it hold its shape. And what we want to do is that we want to soften that glue, and so that, yeah, when we soften that glue and then it cools down again, it will hold the shape. So yeah, I've done this a few times now, just giving it some water, let it soak in for a while, and then heat gun. So yeah, and it seems almost like this one is almost falling into shape, so that's kind of cool. And here we go. This is the next day, and I could finally push this around. It's still a little bit too sharp, these angles. I think I have to make them rounder here, because that creates a huge stress point here. So I'll have to file that down a little bit to make sure that this doesn't keep cracking. But yeah, it's, even if I take these off now, there is kind of this bend to it. So it kind of worked. Not perfect, but yeah, I would need some steam, I guess, and we'll just push this for a few days in water. I don't have that time. I want to continue, so I think this is good enough. What do you think?
I think so.
Anyways, so it's time to paint and cut this out so I get the shape. The mistake I did here, as you can see, is I made this bigger, so I had to make this, the distance here difference to here, so that it will match there. So anyways, it's time to paint the whole, how I'm gonna cut this on the back side, and yeah, start stitching this on today. And then hopefully the last piece is there, and since this one is too short, I have to put one more here, and I'll have to connect something here to make it stick real strong. Ooh, see? Oh, no, 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 what are you doing? There's a huge stresses in here. You could hear the cracking, right? It's probably here giving. Not good, but not great. I've seen people build these boats out of chicken farm, what's it called? The steel wire, chicken net. So this is more like, the purpose of this one is more of the shape. The hull though, yeah, that probably has to be stronger. So I'll have to put something in here to kind of strengthen up here. So cut something out to put in here, and then put something across here to strengthen up the loads here. I mean, the absorption of the loads, and connect it somehow to this one, I guess. Yeah, after sawing this shape out, so I just used the contour of the boat and then saw it out. That was terrible to do for some reason. It was hot as hell. And I didn't have the right tools for it, obviously, but I don't want to disturb my neighbors with power tools either. So I made them pissed before, and I tried to keep my noise down. Anyways, drill the first hole. That's gonna go there. And now it's time to kind of drill the same ones here and start putting it all over. So hopefully we'll have something that starts looking like more like a boat now soon. And here we go. So I tried to force this. Absolutely not perfect in any sense, but there will go epoxy filler here to kind of strengthen it up. But I'll do like here, I'll just put some quick epoxy to make all of this stick, and then start screwing this in. So yeah, starting to look more like a boat, huh? But this is really breaking. Yeah, should have done that differently. Don't care, I'm gonna go with this. I rounded off those corners to relieve the stress, I mean from here. But yeah, it's still a lot of stress there. No wonder. It should probably have been cut at a 45-degree angle or something. Kind of like that. Anyways, I'm gonna take a break, then I'm gonna put some screws in. This took 1.5 hours. Looks easier than it is, but yeah, it's just continue until it's done. Doesn't matter that it's kind of, you can see through here. It's it will be filled with filler, and then it's the glass fiber, carbon fiber, Kevlar that will hold the strength. But I need to put something in here, so I'm gonna actually put the outside first on, and then when I have that, I'll kind of soak this with filler and a lot of other, how to say, with these wood beams, and to strengthen that up, because that actually needs to be strong. I have now put epoxy on the inside. You can see some leaking out here. And I put epoxy here also. I did a pretty terrible job. I think this would be difficult to take off. I don't know. I don't think epoxy really bonds well to nylon, so I think it'll be kind of easy to take away. So the idea is that we just use quick epoxy to hold it in place, then sanding everything down, taking all of these straps away, and then put epoxy putty to kind of create a stronger bond. So yeah, it's time to take these off with a knife and see if it sticks. I think it should. I think all of this epoxy together really makes it hold. So you can see that here we have a hole, for example. So there we go, epoxy in there, like this epoxy putty. So this is just to keep this in place, and it's definitely stronger than a nylon. So I think this was kind of a good idea. I put some sawdust in to kind of make it, I don't know, stronger. No, it doesn't become stronger. I don't think so. Or maybe it does. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's going to be covered by carbon fiber, Kevlar, and glass fiber. That's what's going to bring the strength. This is more of a shape. But it's starting to look like a boat, which is kind of neat. And they're all gone. I put a little bit extra epoxy here. I sanded this down a little bit so that it's smooth. So I will put a little bit epoxy filler here. As you can see, I have outside 2 components. And the idea is to fill out the holes and kind of fill up these voids here. I don't have screws to put this on. It's actually cracking here, so I'm just gonna let it sit and probably put it in the outside so the summer heat will hopefully help it bend a little bit. If it won't, it doesn't matter. I'll just sand this down, this crack. It's, as I said, this is not structural here. It's gonna have these I forgot what they're called. Beams all over. They're going to be structural, and the glass fiber and everything. Anyways, so what I'll do now is to fill out the holes. I'll take the straps out. It's actually quite easy. Surprisingly, it's simple. So yeah, all of them are gone. It's they got stuck with a quick epoxy, but not that bad that it really that was hard in any way. It doesn't really stick to each other, nylon and epoxy, so it was kind of easy to take off with a knife and some tools. Anyways, so let's fill these up. Let's put a little bit in these cracks and wherever so that we actually get this tight, and then after that I'll put the glass fiber strap all over here to bring some extra protection. I was thinking about maybe putting like a keel down here, because I mean, of course it's going to hit something sooner or later. Of course not this one, but something thicker, maybe plastic or maybe some wood, and maybe one out here. So when it lies down, this is not hit with the glass fiber, but it takes the hits on that kind of wood instead of here. And I think we're done for today. So we're starting to see a boat. Something that looks like it anyways. And what I've done now is that I have, after taking the nylon strips off, I have put epoxy putty here. I will use gloves to kind of, it's still a bit, you can still move it a little bit, so you can just make it smoother down here. And my next steps, I guess, is to build some beams here to strengthen up. This is kind of the only beam there exists, but most of that will go away, and I will have to have a thicker wood going down over here. And then I will have to build also down here so that the loads will be taken in. That means I'm going to lose some leg space in here. But on the other hand, when I take this away, there's going to be a big hole. You can actually push your feet inside here. And the wild idea you have, just to finish off this episode, is if I put a seat there, I could have the motor there. But since I want this to be a jet motor, it can't really work well. I have to take that away, and that wouldn't work well. So I'm thinking about building something behind to put the motor bolted on from behind, jet behind there. Then I can put my battery pack there. But my battery pack, I could actually have something over it. So I could actually sit one person there in this small little boat. And then the second person could sit here while driving. It's going to be tiny, but you could, which is kind of cool. So thank you for watching this episode. My name is Mikael Sjöman. This is the Naval Tech Tinker. I'd love to get your feedback on everything I'm doing wrong. I'm just tinkering around. I watched a few YouTube videos and just, to hell with it. I'll just try to build it and see how it goes. I'll try to make it structurally as good as possible and try to follow as many good principles I have learned during this journey. So I really appreciate you watching, and please subscribe if you want to help me in my channel, and please follow along with this crazy micro jet boat that we're building. And as a bonus, I want to show you something I haven't shown, and I don't know if you can see this, but this is Kevlar carbon fiber. I mean, this is pure carbon fiber, this black thing, but I bought 3 meters of this Kevlar carbon fiber, and so I'm gonna put that on when I've made this more structurally sound, and that's only the outside and up on top of here, but I think it's gonna look so cool when it's done. So I could do black pure carbon fiber, but yeah. Anyways, that was the bonus. Thank you for watching. See you next episode.